first.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jeremy.
Yes.
No, that's all right. I didn't get any credentials yet, but that's probably because I kind of wanted to join since Tuesday, which is not very long ago. But I didn't get any sign-in details just yet.
So,
anyway,
do you want to take that, Justine?
your signing details are just going to be the email address that you signed up with Toastmasters. So you'll go into the Toastmasters International website, and from there you'll say log in, and then you'll just put in your email address, and then I think you just go to forgot password, and then you set up your password, and then that will get you to log in. I think I have I must check. There might be a video around logging in, but I think it's more about this. But try that, and then just shout if you need any help, and we'll figure it out.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks.
So when you log in, it will come up with your own. You guys can all hear me. Oh, sorry. Can you see the screen? You see the screen I'm seeing. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So it logs in, and then it tells me that I'm Sean. This is one thing that I couldn't find, and like I had to ask, and it was a very silly question. Was sometimes they're going to ask you for your membership number. So when you click on my profile, like this, I just want it to come up. It's going to give. Let me just go back in here. My profile again. I'm on my profile. It should give me my. No, it's not giving my number. I wanted to show you where I see where you see your number, but I didn't.
It's under your name. So it says, where can we take you?
Oh, sorry, there it is. Yeah, it is. Sorry, it's this here. So that number there is your member number if you're ever looking for that. So it's like one of those hidden things that people never show you. So I'm just going to then go back. So in about is where you would start. So I've loaded up some of the things. So I'm just going to move to the actual screen that I want to just show you where you go to Basecamp. So this is, if you clicked on your open curriculum, this is going to show you where you are in your program. My internet feels a bit slow. So you can see I've done my icebreaker. This is the first speech that I've done. So I'm just going to show you, and this is where you had asked as well, Claire, about how do I get my first speech done. So I don't know why that's doing that. It shouldn't do that.
You mean Catherine?
No, Claire. Claire wanted to know, how does she record the speeches she's done that she hasn't recorded them. She hasn't. So I'm just going to show you what happens when you get to your first speech that you're going to do, your icebreaker, or any speech that you would be doing after this. The process is the same. It's a similar process.
Okay. So Sean, must I go back then, because I've done my icebreaker? Sean and Justine, must I go back then and fill this out?
You're going to do exactly as I've done here now. So you saw when I clicked on who I am, it tells me what my speeches are. Like I'm dynamic leadership, and it says, your speeches. You go and click on that button, and then it takes you. You see these assess your skills. This is what you would do first. So this is the first thing that you're going to do, is you're going to assess your skills before your speech. Sorry, I'm at the end where I've got to get to the front. Let me just do this, because mine's already been done, so I need to get back. So I'm going to just dial this back. I just want to get to the front. So understand is that yours would start here.
Because I've done it already.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how you would start, right? You would start with, it would come with your pathways, and then you would go to your. I'm gonna do it over here rather. It's easier if I just go assess your skills before. So this is your before. So that's a useful trick for you guys. If you're moving across over here and you're toggling backwards and forwards, the quick way to do it is just click over here, and then you can see exactly where you want to be. So this was your assignment, which would be your icebreaker. Then you go to assess your skills. So this is when you're going to assess your skills, you're giving yourself a score for these 5 things that are going. And I'm just going to toggle through what they are. Well, no, I would have had to do each of them. So it's going to ask me to do, let me see if I can do it like this. But there would be 5 questions that it's going to ask you. And you score those questions 1 to 5. So then you would get through to where you now are going to look at what it will tell you about what the elements and the competencies of that speech, what they're looking for. And it will walk you through that.
It's important.
Then you would get, then you would get to the planning of your speech. So this is, all of these will give you information about the icebreaker, and there's videos that are in there. So if you look at some of these, they will give you like a tutorial, a video, and it will, this is, in this person, this is them just, I'm just going to put on pause. This was them telling you about their first speech, their icebreaker, how important it was. And the icebreaker is the most important speech because it's the one that you'll always remember. So then when you've gone through doing, so note as well, is the outline of your speech is in the document. So you can see here, you can print that. So it will tell you what exactly, it will walk you through how to do your speech. And all of these are user driven. So then you will get your download, your icebreaker speech, you download it, and then you can print it from over here. Okay. Jeremy, remember when I said to you that you can download all that information? You were asking me about where you fill it out and where you don't. This is where you would just download all of that, the pages to walk you through. And then here it gives you the how you're going to organize your speech. You always have you have an opening, you have a body and a conclusion, and normally you're working with 3 topics that segue into each other. That's a typical speech: an opening, a body with 3 topics that segue, and then a conclusion for that speech. And then when you've done your speech and you've given it, so this is the rehearsing, and again, these are videos that they are showing you how to rehearse. You can rehearse in a mirror, you can rehearse with friends. What some people have asked is for mentors, and we quite open at the exco level to be mentors for people. So and I've done that already with a few people where they phone me and they go, you know, I want to take you through my speech, can I test it on you? So that we're willing to do that with you, we're more than willing. And then you would get to where you would get to give your speech. So we click that away. So and then once I've given my speech, so this is just telling you about the timing, the pacing, the organization review and of your speech. You will then get to presenting it. Okay, this is just like someone else's speech that they're going to just show you. And then over here, where you're going to do your post evaluation, you're going to go I've got to get to assess your skills afterwards. So this now, you see with mine, this is my own data. Before I did the speech, it says I feel relaxed when giving a speech. I gave myself a 2. Afterwards, I gave myself a 4. Then the next question was, I understand the structure of a basic speech. I gave it a 3 in the beginning, and afterwards I gave it a 5. I can easily identify my strengths as a communicator. At first, before my speech, I was a 3. Afterwards, I gave myself a 5. I'm generous to myself. And then I recognize skills I need to develop to improve my communication. Before I was a 4, and then afterwards I was a 5. Once you've completed this, it then logs your speech as complete, and then we are able to see it. Just want to see if I get the right one over here. So over here, you can see all the people that have done speeches, and what it shows us is where they are. So when I mouse over, I can see that this person's on their level 3, this is the 3, and so it goes. So we are able then to record your speech once you've done it. And I want to get to just the other. No, that's
how come my speeches are not? My speech is not on there.
Did you? Well, because you didn't. If you didn't do the initial, so this thing is all, it's computer. Well, I'm guessing that if you don't go and log the before assessment and the after assessment, then it doesn't show.
Okay.
It's waiting for you to give me that information. Well, to give Toastmasters back in that information so that we can go, yes, we recognize that you've done that speech.
Yes, sure.
Is that right, Justine? Have I got that right?
That's perfect. Yeah. So as soon as, Catherine, as soon as you start on the Toastmasters website, you'll go and you'll do your assess your skills before, and you'll work through that whole thing. And then it will come up on this screen, your name, and that you've done your first project.
Yeah, because remember I asked you that, Justine. I said, what do I need to do? Because I know with Pathways there is a lot to do. So I must start doing all this then. Yeah.
And once you get the hang of it, it's very simple. You'll learn it quickly.
Yes. Catherine, if you want afterwards, if you go on your computer after, like, I don't know, today or tomorrow, whenever, and you dial me in, I'm more than willing just to sit and walk you through it again. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sean. I think I might take you up on that. It might be in the week though, but when it's good for you, I'll see when it suits you as well.
That's fine. That's perfect. Okay. So then I just want to talk about the levels now, and then what. So in level 1, all of the speeches for all of the 11 types are the same. So we go through an icebreaker, we go through writing a speech with purpose, we go introduction to vocal variety and body language, and we go through evaluation and feedback, and you have a level 1 completion. So if I just want to show you all of the speeches, I just want to show, not there. I'm clicking between it's easier if I just, because I've saved these as different tabs. So these are all of the speeches that, is my thing feeding back to me? Can you guys hear me okay?
So question I want to ask Justine and Sean, the question I want to ask you guys is, I signed up for, when you asked me which one I chose, I think I went for, was it strategic relationships? Yes. Now, can you change your project if you decide, okay, rather than strategic relationships, I would rather do, for example, I don't know, team collaboration or something like that? Can one change one's project?
So my understanding is that Toastmasters International bills you according to the path you've chosen, and if you choose another path, you technically are going to get billed a second time. That's my understanding of how it works.
Yeah, but Catherine, I don't think you have actually chosen your path on the Toastmasters website. So if you go and you choose your path,
yes,
perhaps choose a different one if you are so inclined to do so. But if you're changing paths, they are going to charge you for that.
Okay, and then can you go into each of these and read up so that you can really fully understand which one you suit?
100%.
Yes.
You can go into each of them, and so let me just pick effective coaching, which would be like, that's not my one, right?
Yeah, super.
So now you see this is effective coaching. Those are the levels, and then you get your elective. So you can see that those were the same, right? You got icebreaker, writing a speech with purpose, introduction, vocal variety, evaluation, feedback, and then and these also are the same. So in level 1 and 2, they standardized. Then you get your elective project. So you now click on here, and that will tell you what all of those elective projects are. And then if I clicked on there, all of those electives, and so I get over here. So you can, if you went into whichever one you chose, you would get. It would show you what that is, and you can kind of like work out what you want.
Yes, because then people can read and decide which one they really genuinely feel suited to. Hey?
Correct. And remember, you've got to do this first. This is your first step before you go to an icebreaker. So I went into giving your speech, but actually this is where you start, because if you're not looking at this information, well, then you might pick the wrong path, and now you've got to pay again for another path. So you always want to pick your path, and even so, what I've done with some of the people is, and like Jeremy and I've done it with 2 others, is they spitball what they would want, what they want to do, what they want to get out of it, and then we kind of like just sound it out. And then I go, okay, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like this or that. And then, but the person obviously is always choosing where they want to go. But it sometimes helps to just sound out What do you want to use this for in your work, in your personal life? Where do you want to use it for? And then you kind of narrow it down to your choices. Okay. So I just want to then go back. So again, I'm using mine here now. So you can see that I've done the icebreaker. My next one is my speech with purpose. I would be going into here, launching it. To show you what would be how it would come up if it was a new speech without me having to backspace.
Yes, yeah.
Toastmasters site is very slow. It's not a very. I've got fiber to the home, like 200 megabits a second, so it's not my computer.
Yeah. No, it's lovely, lovely doing it step by step like this. Thanks, Sean and Justine. Yeah.
Okay, this has taken a while. That's why I opened up a lot of the tabs, because it's easier than, when you're doing a demo to.
My mother's about 80. And she's like done all her speeches, like she's different to me. I love doing the supporting roles. And when Pathways came, she was like, that's it. I'm resigning from Toastmasters, just because she's from that generation where it's like, oh, So, but I've got a different attitude. I must familiarize myself with Pathways. Hey.
Okay, so again, I would be assessing my skills of how. I'm not going to do this all now, but this is where I would assess my skills, and then I would go into my second talk that I've got. I just want to go and I want to do this if I went right from the onset. If I went to I want to just show you guys, if I didn't, because obviously it knows me and logs me in my password. I just want to log in as if you were logging in without. Because it's going to go Basecamp, but I'll just okay. So this you can see. I just want to do it. I want to hide this to the bottom.
Did you figure this all out on your own by just fiddling around with it, Sean?
Well, I had a good teacher in Justine that showed me what to do. So no, I didn't. I did fiddle around, but then Justine and Gabriella took me through it, like I'm doing with you. I think Justine did a far better job, but like.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Doing very great. Yeah.
Okay, so it's keeping on going in with my. I'm trying to get return to home. I want to show you how it would be if you guys came in. I'm actually going to then log out. Let me just do it if I log out. Because I want to just show you what the screen would look like when you come in and put your own username and password in. Okay, so this is how it would look.
Okay,
so you would come to this, and then it would have all this generic information that's below. It's just, telling you about Toastmasters, the program, your experience. So then you would go here, you click login.
Login, yeah.
Okay, it's going to ask you for your email address. So it knows mine. You're going to enter your password. If you didn't know your password, you go click forgot password.
Yes.
Okay, when you click forgot password, it's going to send the email to that email address over there.
Awesome.
Okay, and then you in, and then you log in.
And then you go to
Sean.
Yes.
Sorry, Sean. Just on that, I tried that just now, and it says Toastmasters doesn't recognize that email address. Is there something I've got to do?
Which email address? Which email address did you give to Toastmasters when you said that you wanted to sign up? Which one did you give them?
The Gmail one. So that's the one I entered.
And it's the same one.
Yeah, it's the same one, but it says it doesn't recognize it. Is there something I've got to do on my end?
No.
I think then we need to do it at the back end. So can we do that from our side, Justine?
Yeah, I think it's about, maybe we need to check if they've been loaded onto the Toastmasters back end. So I'll check with Verity. I've made a note to check for Tabang and Jeremy, because his was also not working yet.
Okay, thanks so much.
Yeah, if we can just be patient, and I'll figure out what's happening. Thank you.
So when you get in here, your go-to place is Basecamp. That's where you go. You can go and look at the Learning Hub and the Achievement Board, but your go-to place is this. You log in like I did now, and you go to Basecamp. So in my one, I can see, I just want to show you in my Basecamp that where I can see where the things are because I'm able to see who's done their talks, their speeches. So you can see where it says pending requests and member progress. The previous one I showed you was the member progress. That was the tab I had at the top here. But this one is when you have finished a speech and it's got to be approved by us to put into the system, it comes up here as a pending request. Can you see there's no pending requests at the moment?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we know then that that speech is completed when we see the pending requests come in.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to go back to my own Basecamp because I want to show you what happens when you go in, what a normal Basecamp would look like. So you see there it says path-based Basecamp, right?
Yes.
That's where that's your go-to place. That's where you're going to feel safe, that you can just go from there, go anywhere to your speeches.
Pathway, so you go to Basecamp here. I'm just writing that down.
Yeah, actually, when you log in for the first time, it's going to show you those three things, and Basecamp is the first one on the left-hand side, and then the other two are,
Yes, yes. I'm just writing this step by step, so maybe we can put a step by step for people or something here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this. I might have to redo this one. I'm just going to refresh the screen because it looks like it's hanging. Let me just.
Hey, I'm just
again.
like you. I so miss getting my Toastmasters magazine in the post. Not like comes online. I'm like, oh, because I'm not a major online person at all.
Okay, right. I'm just going to go back. I just want to refresh the screen because I don't think it lost itself there. Okay. So go back to my Basecamp. So you click on Basecamp.
Yes.
So then it will come up with this. It says ToastEd. So you can be a member of various clubs, and then it would have the other clubs sitting here next to it. So if I'm only ToastEd, but if you're a member of 3 clubs, there'll be one here, another one there, and so it'll go down below, right? But this is my club, so I go into ToastEd.
Okay, so that will come up, eh?
That comes up, and I'll just click my poppers away, and then it says to me, right, this is my path in learning education, and I go to open curriculum, and that's what you're doing. So you go to open curriculum, and so yours would
down for everyone here, open curriculum.
So you go to your path and learning. Mine is dynamic leadership. You can see dynamic leadership is showing here, and then you open your curriculum. And when I open my curriculum, it goes to that page where it's all my speeches that I've got to do.
So Sean, when you open curriculum, if you haven't chosen a path yet, how do you get to it?
No. You've got to choose your path first. So you cannot go to Basecamp unless you've chosen a path. So you will when you come in and select your path, that's your first place you're going to, is selecting a path.
Okay. So I might have to just go back to that stage at some point, but then now I've got this stage. It's fine, yeah.
Yes, and from here you would because you see I couldn't have got into dynamic leadership just by happenstance. I had to choose dynamic leadership, and only once I've chosen my path will this information display. Okay,
because I just wanted to ask you, because I've got all this, but if we could just go back to when you're choosing your path.
Yes.
The process, step-by-step process for that, and I'll write that down for everyone.
Okay. I'm going to try and find the one that I did. I'm looking for my cheat sheets that I opened all these up, but I think let me do it from the beginning.
Because then we could write that step-by-step process down for people here.
Okay, I'm going to do it from a new link. Let me go and open up a new link. So I'm going to go. Pathways, but you see, mine will take me to Basecamp, so I need to then just log out and log in. So
okay. Yeah, you're very
let me
patient.
just-
I'm sure you'll do that first.
So then I'm going to go to home.
Okay, so we must go to home first for that.
You start off at home. That's
Home.
that's home.
Mhm.
If the website seems to be hanging in, I want to close these tabs. I'm going to close all of my tabs. Let
Okay.
me close these. I just think that there's. Okay, so let me just go here. I'm going to log
Yeah.
out.
Okay, log out and then log in. I think people kind of once this is so lovely because a step-by-step guide, it helps you sort of like grow towards it and just like warm towards it. You know what I mean? The
Okay,
path.
so first I log in.
Log in, email, and then password. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so mine was already chosen, so I should actually have had like a dummy one that I could show you where you would start new. But
it's
you
okay.
could go to.
We go to.
Let me just. I'm going to do it like this.
You're doing great, Sean.
Okay. Okay, so this is my login, and then I choose. Justine, where would I go to choose my path? It was.
Oh gosh, I'm not sure if you've already chosen your path. I actually am not
Yeah,
sure.
but
what it
there
looks
was
like.
one that I saw. It showed me I could go and it's where I could choose the paths. I did see it.
Is it not education program, Sean, that you go to? No?
It's
Resources, no?
let
Let me
me
check
just
too.
see. It might be here. It might be there.
Yeah, I would say education
Yeah,
programs.
I think it's there. Okay, so I'm going to go to Basecamp. Okay, so this is going to access. Okay,
Yes,
yes, choose a path. There you go. So this is your first screen you're going to come to is choose a path.
Okay, lovely. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
home.
So it's under education programs. You're going to go choose a path. And then from here, you've chosen your path. Then you would be able to either here go to Basecamp, or you would go the way you would normally go to Basecamp by logging in. So if I go to choose a path here now, I'm just going to click on this just to see if it will you see, this is all linked to money. You can't, if we haven't received your money, you won't be able to choose your path. So then you're choosing your path now. So it says, choose the language you want to do it in. And obviously it'll take you through a whole selection, and then you'll get to the 11. I close all those ones now that I had. Yeah, I did. I closed those. But it'll take you through to the 11 that with the. Yeah, I closed those. Yeah, I closed the other one. But it'll show you all those 11 that and then you choose which one you want.
Yes. So sorry, I just want to confirm with you, after the speech, where you did that scoring, which is very important, like you score yourself before and then after with all those different sections. Do you do that? Do you fill after you've done the speech, you go back and complete that, eh?
You have to. Otherwise, it doesn't register that you've done it.
So then you go back into this section to complete that, hey? Yeah.
Correct. You go into your Basecamp, and your Basecamp will have. So let me show you again. If we go into Basecamp, I just want to show you how you would do that. So I'm just going to go. Right. I'll just click home. And home seems to be like something that doesn't want to serve up and go back to home. But normally, if I click home, it did go this time to my Basecamp. So I go to Basecamp. That's always Basecamp. Basecamp is like you live in Basecamp. That's
okay.
So I click.
So
Okay, so now I go to and this is your club, it's Toastmasters. So you click on the club that you're on.
Yes.
I mean, you could have been in, you could have gone to, if you're in different clubs, you could go to other ones as well. And then over here, it's my paths and learning. Okay. So here I always go to open curriculum. That's the easy way to get into where all your speeches are, because when I click on this now,
yes,
it opens up. See, the icebreaker was done, right?
yes, yes.
Now, when I was in icebreaker, I'm just going to go as if I was back in icebreaker, just to show you,
yes, yes.
because icebreaker is the one you're doing, right? So I launch it. That. Somehow you got to click on one side of it and not the other. And so when I now come into, so you saw now I went into my icebreaker, that you've selected your path and you've gone into your first speech that it showed you, because you went on you clicked on that and you come into icebreaker.
Yes.
Let's just wait for Toastmasters to spool up.
So you would have already filled out that first section before you did the icebreaker. Now you filling out the second section after the icebreaker.
And this is it'll come up with these. Now these questions are mine. You can see it says after, right? You would go here, click there, and you would assess your skills before.
Yes.
And you go through that whole thing and you'd give your speech afterwards. Then you come back to this, exactly the same section, and you assess your skills after. And when you've clicked through this now, it will register that that talk is done.
Okay.
So always go to the bottom here. That's your go-to place to find where you are, because, you know, this is just the introduction and your assignment, which is your first speech. Then you assess your skills. Then you would go through all of the other things, making, you know, doing your speech, giving your speech, whatever, and then you would assess your skills after you've done the speech. So this is like the week before, and this is the week after.
So they're all in the same section, yeah.
Always in the same section. It doesn't change. Always in the same. And when you've done this and assessed your skills after, then it automatically then puts you back onto your second speech. So you see with me, when you see the reason why it always comes up with assess your skills after is because I'm done with that speech. I'm now onto my next speech.
Yes.
Okay, so we walk through that again.
I think it would be helpful for everyone.
Okay. Right. Okay. So let us go to first where we were selecting our path. I just want to go back to the screen that showed us there. So here you're coming in, it welcomes you. You haven't got a path. This screen will come up because you have no path. It doesn't know you. It says, go and choose a path, and you choose a path.
Okay, so that's after education programs, yeah.
Yes. Then once you've chosen your path, you look at you go into Basecamp through the thing. So you click, you go to Basecamp. Okay, you click on ToastEd, which is our group.
Okay, ToastEd. Yeah.
Oh, the site's very slow.
It's very slow.
Okay. If you've got pop-ups and things like, I don't know why I can't get rid of the pop-ups, then you see when you go to you would have your path by now, right? Because you selected your path, it knows your path, and here's your path. You click on open curriculum.
Sure, yeah.
And there you are in Icebreaker, and you go and click launch.
Let's see that.
Okay. Once I launch it, then I'm into that thing where it's got the question that it's going to ask me. Just give it a few more minutes. Really? literally a few minutes. Okay, then you see now when I said to you click over here, there you're going to assess your skills before, and then you're going to give the speech, and you're going to come back after the speech, and you're going to go back here, and you're going to assess your skills after. And when you've done that, you'll walk through all 5 questions. It will click, say, okay, happy end, and then you're done. You go on to your next speech. It will move you onto the next speech automatically. Well, it'll appear in your box of speeches, but it'll be ticked like mine is ticked.
Wait, okay.
Okay, so it'll look like this. See that box that's ticked there? That's done. I'm on my second speech now.
Yes, me too.
Well, you've just got to complete your first one. Questions before, questions after, and then there'll be a tick in the box for you. And you will obviously have to make sure your pathways was selected, etc., etc.
Yeah, super.
Sean, do you mind if Chantal shares her screen, because she wants to just complete her vocal variety project, because she seems to be having a hassle. So it might be quite nice for Chantal to share her screen, and then everyone can see what it looks like when she presses to the final thing. Chantal, are you good to share?
Good idea.
Has it helped you, Claire, see where you got to go and click? Are there certain things you weren't doing as well, Claire, that you didn't?
Yes, I think it was, I just didn't do the after assessment and all that kind of thing. So that was actually and just not going back into the project. That was the problem. I'd done the first one, but then not finished it off.
Okay.
Just a question while we're waiting for Chantal. Justine, do you know, or Sean, I've just been looking at the other electives in the path that I'm doing. And I know that it says minimum 2 in order to complete it. But can we just, I mean, I've already technically completed the whole thing previously with the legacy program. But now let's say, for instance, this visionary communication or whatever it is that I'm in, I've seen some really interesting ones. Can I just go and do them all? So let's say, for instance, that we're not needing my completion of my path for our DCP. Can I just go and actually do all the ones that I'm interested in instead of having to move onto another pathway? Am I allowed to actually exhaust all those projects that would be of value to me?
I'm sure you can. I don't see why not. Because here's Chantal coming in a different room. Hang on, sorry. Because when it's levels 3, 4, and 5, you've got your compulsory one that you do, and then you have your 2 electives, and sometimes 3, or maybe it's 1, 2 and 1. And then once you've completed the project, because you are quite far, if we start needing you for level 5 completion for DCP points, then maybe we'd be like, oh, hey, can you continue with your level 5 and then do those projects in the background just for your own growth? I don't see that's the problem.
Yeah, because I was thinking if I do so that we've got it, and then if we need it for the level 4 and 5, then great. But I mean, me going back to go into like level whatever the one where it starts with the electives and actually doing, because I just seen one now that is about networking, make connections through networking. So I mean, obviously I do a lot of networking, but who knows what value that might actually serve for me. So
okay, cool. Yeah, I don't see that being a problem. You just wouldn't get like the completion form on the website, I don't think. But you can just follow the steps and just do it, like I said, for your own growth. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fabulous. Thank you.
Pleasure. Chantal, are you ready to rock?
Hi, sorry,
Hello.
I heard the whole thing, lost you on the screen, but I'm here and I've been playing around, and this is why I'm actually doing the training, because no matter how many times I've filled in the form, it does not register that I've finished my pathway. So that's why I'd love the answer to that question.
Okay.
I don't know how to share I'm on the pathways thing, but I don't know how to share it.
The green button in the center of your screen. Click on that.
Oh, okay. Share screen.
Bottom of your screen.
I've got it. Thank you. And select the tab to share. Oh gosh, those are therapy files. You guys can't see that. So now I've got the tab open, but geez, you really can't. I don't know why those are open. I don't know how to close those, but I told you I'm technically challenged, Sean. I've got the tabs open at the top of my screen, but when I say share screen,
You must click on one of them.
Yeah, you can
Just click on one of them.
do your entire screen, or you can share just the tab.
It only gives me the option of no, but it doesn't give me the option of what's open.
Is your browser open?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
These are not the right forms at all. I've got 3 pathways open.
And have you on that share screen, when it opens up, have you clicked on the window that you actually want to share?
Well, the window that it gives me, share screen. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if, there you go. Oh, okay.
There you go.
There we
now
go.
we got it.
We're getting it.
Yay!
Yeah, there we go.
I just can't see you guys anymore, but that's fine. Okay,
That's
so
okay.
that, let me share that. Does this other screen share as well? And that's, okay, wait, where we go? Where we go? So there. Now I have, are you guys on my visionary communication, introduction to vocal variety, body language, right?
No,
No,
we're on
no,
before
we're
you
still
move
the first
on.
page.
That, before you move on. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm done the assess your skills quite a lot. Okay. And then I want to go, because you're saying
After.
you must go
After.
assess your skills, yeah. So I've
After,
done
yeah.
this. So they have done that. Can you see
Okay,
that's
let's
done?
just see. You didn't do the before. You didn't do
Yeah.
the before. You must do the before.
Okay.
So click at the
Oh,
bottom,
my
click
goodness.
on select your move between sections, click on the red, select to move between sections.
Yeah.
There, okay. Go to the top where it says assess your skills before. Drop down. Oh, there.
Sean, thank you. And that's all it is, really, hey?
That's all it is. You do that and you're done. Then it needs the before and after. You can't just do the after. You got to do both.
I don't know how I skipped that. Sorry, I thought I'd done, I don't know why it felt like I've done this quite a few times, this whole thing. But anyway, thank you very much. You guys have answered my question for me.
But sorry,
so I'll just
can you just check? Can you actually click those things? Because it doesn't look like you.
Yes. Yes, let's do that. I think I did understand how important vocal variety is. Screen seems to be hanging.
Yeah, it's not it's not allowing you to choose a number. But press next and see. Press that red next.
It hasn't done that. See, it
maybe
hasn't done
maybe
that.
it's just doing it for you because you didn't choose it. So just go to the end, maybe, because I see you can't choose between 1, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5.
You see, I've done this. I think this is what I chose last time.
Okay.
Do you see that? I chose that.
But it hasn't recorded it. Why didn't it record it then?
But it's recorded it there, but it hasn't.
Yes, I see. I see this. There looks like there's a glitch because you have recorded them. You have put them in, but it's giving you zeros.
So now it's still giving. So I have definitely, it's a problem. Yeah, it's not me.
Yeah, there's a glitch. There's something wrong there. It's not you.
Okay. So I have a glitch that I need to be sorted out.
Justine, I don't know how to help.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'll ask someone because I also don't know. So I'll find out.
Have you signed in and out again, Chantel? Have you signed completely logged out and logged in again or not? Or do you log out every time? Or is it sort of cached in your computer? Could it be like
when you say log out?
Of your whole profile, and sort of start again, log in completely again.
Okay, I'll try that.
I don't know.
And then logging out.
So wise.
Yeah, let me do that while you guys go on to something else. How's that? I'll do that so long.
So you'll unshare.
Okay, so I'm trying to unshare. Oh my goodness.
Welcome back.
Stop sharing. It's unshare, right?
Okay, thanks, Daddy.
So are there any other, who else has questions or concerns or is not clear on how to access a pathway, access Basecamp, and select your, access the site, select a pathway and access Basecamp, and then start your first speech.
Yeah, I feel much more confident. Thank you, Sean. I just wanted to ask you, maybe I could schedule with you or Justine, because I feel so much more confident now, just one session next week, either of you, where I can just get everything up to date before I do my second speech, which is coming up very soon with all of that. And for me personally, I think if I just do that once, then I'll be fine. That's how good your training has been.
Okay. I'm gladly open to that. So if you want to get hold of me, you know,
Thank you, Sean. Yes.
we can take that offline. We can look at a time.
Right.
Yes.
Shifa has a
Shifa,
question.
you got a hand up.
Yes. Now, sorry, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear? All right. Now, I have dual membership, and I'm also, like you, Sean, I'm also doing dynamic leadership. I'm doing my second elective. So I want to know if I'm doing a speech for ToastEd. How do I log that in? Because, you know, if I'm looking at my membership page, I'm going to just show you on my iPad. So can you all see that?
Yes.
So it says go to Basecamp. Okay, and so it says select the club you would like to interact with as a Basecamp member.
That's the one.
Yeah, right. Now, if I'm doing a speech for ToastEd, okay. So let's say I'm going to do my next elective with ToastEd. Then does that get logged in as points for ToastEd, but not points for my other club?
Correct.
Yeah.
You can only score the points once. It's for us, or for, and we want them all for us. We're biased.
Okay.
I'm speak straight.
All right.
Can I ask why? Do you guys get awarded for the points?
Yes,
or
they are. You get graded and you can move up. Yes.
as a club, you mean?
Yes, correct.
So if we get a certain amount of people finishing level 1, we get a point. If we get a certain amount of people finishing level 2, we get a point. And then it works. So last year we were President Distinguished because we got a whole lot of new members and people finished the right amount. And I don't know what it is right now offhand, but they finished the right amount of points. And then we get like President Distinguished, and it's like a whole big woo-ha in Toastmasters and everyone celebrates.
Yeah. So Justine, just a question to you. With those points, do you are they only recorded for you? Because it is nice, as you say, for the club to have them. Are they only picked up when we logging in on pathways that those points are accruing?
Yes. So as soon as you've finished a pathway,
yes.
if you finish level 1, you'll go through that whole process, and then you'll complete level 1, and Sean or myself will go and tick that as complete, and you get a little certificate, and we celebrate you. And then after that, it will go through to Toastmasters that you've completed level 1, and it will go into the points.
Okay, so that's why it will only the points will only be accrued if we're using the pathways. Yeah. So that's why it's so important for, I guess, for you to push people to do speeches now, hey, and also to and I think you've been very, very lenient there, and also to make sure that they're getting on pathways so that as a club you're accruing the points for all the hard work you're putting in, people like you and Sean and that. Yeah.
We'll bring the whip out in the second half of the year.
Yeah, I think you can put the pressure on a bit because Justine's been incredibly lenient. So I must proceed with my second speech. And Helanda said he can do one in November, by the way. So you might want to tie him down to that. I'm sure he will commit to it.
Cool.
Yeah, you're speaking for me as well. I've got to get my second speech done.
Yeah, speaking for me too.
Okay, any other questions?
I see Tabang has a question.
Yes. It's just to clarify. So, on the path that you select, you can only select one, or can you select more than one?
Just
it's one at a time. Okay. And then, on that, Justine's been awesome and helped me to get in, fixing my email and that. So I've been able to navigate like you were showing us, Sean. And then I'm seeing that some of the paths are going to disappear first half of 2024.
Yeah, they're going to cut it down to 7, but I think they will amalgamate those other paths in. So I wouldn't be stressed about, like, I mean, we got 11, we got 11. Choose one of your 11. Don't worry about the 7 that it cuts down to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Because that was my concern, to say that I had sort of top 3 that I wanted to do, and if I want to, maybe I should be prioritizing the one that it says it's going to disappear. So if you're saying it'll get weaved into the others, it'll be fine.
I think they amalgamate them. They find ones that look similar. You're not going to be out on a limb, put it that way.
No, happy. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Have you been going through it, Tabang, now while we were doing it here? Have you been tracking on your own computer, and was it easy? I saw you nod yes. So
yeah, I just managed to log in and then select the screen that says choose a path, and then that's where I saw that some of them will be disappearing, and I didn't want to continue before I asked the question. So that's the only screen that I've been able to navigate in.
Okay, and are you comfortable with your path that you've got? Are you clear about where you want to go? Are you know? Okay.
Yeah, I think with I had selected the sort of 3 that I want, and in order of priority, and that's I'm going to do it in that order.
And then Tabang, there is also an assessment that you can go and do. So I would have to go check to see where it is, but there's an assessment where it asks you a whole lot of questions and then gives you 2 paths that the Toastmasters website decides that would be a good fit for you. And then, I mean, some people like to do it, some people don't like to do it because they've got their mind made up already, but it could be quite a nice way to just sort of confirm, like, oh, that was the one I was thinking of doing.
Yeah. Okay, if you let me, I can quickly share just the screen, because
go for it. You can share.
That's the screen that I've gone into. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I saw that there's presentation. How do you want to select presentation mastery, view all the parts, and that's where I had gone in, and I saw
take an assessment is the one where it'll work it out for you. Yeah. And what it does is, like Justine says, it will give you the top 2 options at the top, but it still shows you the other ones as well. Because when I did the assessment, I didn't take one of the 2 that it gave me. I chose one of the alternates. So it stacks them in order of, like, the important ones that it recommends you at the top, but the rest of them are still there. So you can ignore the selection. You don't have to take their selection.
Okay.
Or the AI's generated selection.
Yeah, the algorithm is calculating for you. Okay, no, perfect. Thanks, guys.
Pleasure. I see Jeremy also has a question.
Go, Jeremy.
Cheers, thanks. This is related to pathways, but it's more about becoming a professional speaker. I see that the pathways are more about what kind of speaker you become, or in essence, that's also, I think, something that's represented there. But if you want to become a professional speaker, or let's say do it as your profession, is that also incorporated in some of the pathways, or is that how do you guys go about that, or about helping on this dimension?
I can only comment for myself. Is I came to Toastmasters after going to a professional speaking place, signing up, and then come to Toastmasters. So I didn't do it the other way around. I didn't come to Toastmasters and say, how do I become a professional? Because there are professional speaker bodies, like I'm at Missing Link, and the Missing Link, teach you how to become a professional. They for a check. I mean, it's a lot of money. But I'm sure with Toastmasters, there's a place called the Unique Speaker Bureau, which is a website that you can register yourself as a professional speaker. And if you've done Toastmasters, it probably would be like a credibility thing. But I'm not sure Toastmasters specifically drives itself towards professional speaking. I didn't pick it up that way. I picked it up through Missing Link, and my partner, who as at Missing Link with me, is part of Toastmasters, and he introduced me to Toastmasters. In fact, I gave my first talk to ToastEd. That's how I met. That's how I got there.
Yeah.
And then I went to 4 other clubs giving talks to, and then I came and joined ToastEd. So that's how it went.
I think Jeremy, yeah.
Just wanted to ask you is, does a club get points if your members visit other clubs? Because I know Jeremy, it's also very good just to go and visit other clubs. When I was at Ernst & Young, we did that quite a bit. You know, clubs around you, and then you can also like repeat a speech there, or you can also like do another speech there at other clubs. Even if you're not a member, you can just go as a guest and visit them, and they're very open to one, you know, visiting other clubs. So does the club get points, Justine, if we visit other clubs for you?
As far as I know, we don't get points, but it is nice to form those relationships with other clubs just so that we can support one another. Because I think if we do the training as the Exco committee, they speak a lot about the fact that we're not just Toastmasters, we are Toastmasters, and we are part of like a global organization that's about supporting. But
yeah, I see like Talking Heads has invaded our club quite a lot, so they're bringing in quite an interesting energy there as well. Vanji's very experienced as well.
Yeah. But Jeremy, I think with regards to professional speaking, you're obviously gaining confidence, and it's with regards to Tuesday, you basically came on top with table topics. So I think it's just about growing your confidence. But then there are programs, Claire can maybe speak on this because she is a DTM Toastmaster, where you become a distinguished Toastmaster, and that then gives you, you know, some legs to stand on with regards to professional speaking. And then you also can do things like the competition. So there's the evaluation, or there is the international speech contest, which has just happened now, the last 2 weeks. And that also, if you win the world championship, like you going for coaching with Verity, like she was the world champion in 2021. So that just puts you on a high level in your career. And then she went along and did the accredited speakers program, which is going to put her on an even higher level. But Claire, do you mind sharing, because I know you are a DTM, just a little bit about the DTM, please?
Yeah, so basically the Distinguished Club program, the Distinguished Toastmasters is just basically the fact that you have moved through all the levels that the program offers. So for instance, if now with Pathways, if you've gone level 1 to 5, you've completed it, and you've done all of the other things that are required, you are then a Distinguished Toastmaster. So as far as becoming a professional speaker, I know a lot of people who are out there who have just started speaking. They deliver presentations to businesses or groups or whatever, and they get paid to do that, even though they haven't got any technical qualifications. So you can do that. And if people resonate with what you're saying, even though you don't have a qualification and you're not a part of any kind of recognized body, you can still become a professional speaker. The advantage of Toastmasters is that you can find what is my message and find the voice in which you want to deliver that message and get regular feedback. Whereas out in the world, you're not necessarily going to get that. You get, me saying to you, oh, Jeremy, fantastic speech. Meanwhile, there were parts I go like, I don't know what he was talking about. He lost me. So with Toastmasters, you're getting that. You're going, Jeremy, you said this, but what did you mean? Or you started this point and then you never finished it. So it's those kind of things that Toastmasters help us with. And you can go and do various public speaking courses, but then it's a defined thing of it's so many days or weeks or months, whatever, 1 a week or whatever. But it doesn't necessarily give you the level of practice and feedback that you would get from Toastmasters. So, I mean, I'm busy working on the presentation mastery pathway, because that's kind of, I suppose, geared towards that, because that's what I asked for. That's what I wanted to be able to do. So it doesn't really matter what path you choose, because I think the elements, and that's maybe why they are narrowing down the selection, because actually the projects, the electives, are repeated across different platforms, and ultimately we can choose what it is we speak about. So I think Toastmasters is a great place because we get to learn, and what a lot of people say, do I have to come up with a new topic every time I speak? No, you can choose the same topic. So when I was in England, there was a lady and she spoke about Send a Cow, which is a micro lending organization for ladies in Africa, because they recognize, well, a cow can help them generate an income and they provide for their families. So she did all 10 of her speeches on that organization, different elements of it. And you can take a speech, let's say for instance, you're thinking of working or presenting at an organization, you can do that speech twice, 5 times, 10 times until you refine your message, just making sure that you meet the different criteria of the particular projects if you wanted to still move through the different levels, but just refining that speech. So that's the beauty that we have with Toastmasters. I don't know, does that help?
That's beautiful. That helps a lot. Like, I considered Toastmasters to be a path of lifelong learning, to in a structured environment, to just be able to really get the message or clarify the message and get it across the way I want it to get across. So something like that. But I was wondering if there's a specific pathway to prepare you for professional speaking as well, because of course there's do's and don'ts when you want to enter in that world. One thing that for me like hit me is that 1, this is a lot of fun. 2, I really want to do this, but 3, this is also the way to impact a lot of people. And so professional speaking was never actually my wish or something that I wanted to achieve, but actually now it's come to my attention with this. I just hit me like, oh, this might actually be the fastest way to do this, the best way to make an impact. And so I was wondering, is there within Toastmaster a specific pathway? But what you're saying is already answered. Basically, you just go and do it. And within Toastmaster, you just really get, you structure your message, you get structured feedback, and you just improve your skills. And then when you start speaking, the people will pick up on it, and then that starts to flow on its own. Yeah. So thank you.
The biggest thing I would say is it's about being authentic.
Yeah.
And you know, I've seen a lot of speakers over the years. I mean, I joined Toastmasters in 2008, and the very first experience I had was, it was at club contest level, club contest time. I knew nothing about it. And I listened to this gentleman deliver his speech. And then the next time I was there, because he then won that, it was a club contest. He won the club contest. So at the next meeting, we met twice a month. At the very next speech, he then gave that speech again. And then at the next meeting, I heard him. And then by the third time, I could pretty much repeat his speech because I'd heard it so many times. And I thought that's what you need to do. But actually, for some of us, and I found that that isn't my natural style. I know what I want to communicate, and then I speak from the heart. And when I started speaking from the heart rather than from something that was memorized and word for word the same every time I spoke, I got better feedback, because people, also one thing, I wasn't in my head trying to remember what's the next gesture, what's the next word. When I didn't rehearse it, but I knew what I wanted to say, people going, we really felt connected to you. And that's the thing that you need to, or all speakers need to remember, is we want people to be able to resonate with what we're saying and not go, oh, this person says the same thing every time, they're word perfect, blah, blah, blah. It's about me going, oh, Jeremy feels the same way, had the same experience. That's what counts. It's about being authentic and true to who you are, not trying to be, you know, like this particular gentleman from 2008. I was going, oh, I need to do that because that's what works. Well, no, it doesn't work, because it doesn't resonate with everybody, because they go, oh, well, I can't be a professional speaker if I can't remember my speech word for word every time and do it exactly the same every time. So it's looking at what's important for you and what's that message you want to share with the world that people can resonate with and go, I don't have to be a perfect human being in order to be successful.
Jeremy, are you going to come to live meetings at all?
My icebreaker's on the 5th.
Great. Okay, because I just wanted to say something which is lovely, and I think Verity's introduced it recently to this club, is after you evaluate it, also people will run around with little bits of papers and just give you their 60 pence worth. And sometimes they might write on that piece of paper just something really nice and encouraging. Otherwise, if they're bold, they might say, I think you could work, you know. So I find those so useful, because then not only do you have your evaluator who's evaluated you, but you have like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 little pieces of paper with little pointers and encouragement. And I just like, I found that awesome, you know. And then also, as you go through the various speeches, you'll have different evaluators. So you'll have lots of input from, you know, different evaluation styles. And I think a good evaluator, and this is just my opinion, compliments but also offers some constructive criticism in a nice way. And I think you'll see Toastmasters is very conscious about giving that constructive criticism in a nice way. Yeah.
Nice.
And Jeremy, also the other thing is, if you really want that feedback, is say to your evaluator, please can you tell everybody that I want, if every single person in the room wants to give me some feedback, I want that feedback. Please ask them to tell me what they liked, what they resonated, and where they, you know, were there points that I could have made better? Did I lose them anywhere? So I want as much feedback as I can get, because that's one thing that I realized as well. For instance, and also the other thing is, record your speeches. So even if you don't necessarily record the video part, record the audio part. Because what I have realized is I've delivered speeches and then somebody will come up to me and say, I don't agree with you. You said ABC. And I think, I didn't plan to say ABC. I don't think I said ABC, but I go back and I record, it'll go to the recording, and I realize I didn't say it. Because sometimes people hear things we didn't say. So it's important to have that, so that you can go back and then it's making sure that you're choosing your words correctly. Because, for instance, I had one speech where it was one of the contests type leading up the contest, and this lady said, I can't believe you attacked men, blah, 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 you know, I've got sons, and I thought, I didn't say that. But then it made me very aware to go and say, when relationships break up, you know, this and that. So it helps you refine what you say, so that if there are those people who feel you may be attacking men, attacking women, whatever the thing is, you know, to be very clear on, I'm not, you know, I'm not saying men cheat, women cheat, this, that, the other. It's being very clear on your communication, so that people, if they have that sensitivity, that they don't hear something that you didn't say. And if you don't get that feedback, you don't know that that's the way it came across. Even though you didn't say it, you didn't mean it.
You might start focusing on something that might just be the perception of someone of your message, rather than the literal words. Okay. Yeah. And that's where us getting more feedback. So the woohoo cards are really great, or the little messages are really great, because it means you get more feedback. But actually say to everybody, I want as much feedback, because that's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to be able to refine that message, because it's not just Justine's evaluation. It's what Sean picked up. It's what I picked up. It's what Tabang picked up. And it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we can only get evaluations from people who are higher level than us. You want feedback from everybody in the room. So even new speakers, because it's what we hear and what we think you said. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. That's how you're going to grow quickest.
And Jeremy, what I said to Lawrence, he was my evaluator of my speech. I said to him, I want the difficult feedback. So if you're very specific about what you want, you get what you want. If you want a lightly dusted one, you'll get a lightly dusted. And Lawrence will say, even when I act as a Toastmaster, he'll say, I know you want the difficult feedback, so I'm going to give you. So he forgets all the other little niceties, because I'm not for that. I want to learn, and I need to learn the hard lessons. So yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's really good tips, and I will definitely use them. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing this, guys.
We haven't heard much from Emilia. Is Emilia, are you okay? Are you good?
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm good. I'm actually getting the feedback, and it's very constructive and helping me a lot. Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
And Claire, thanks for that valuable insights that you gave. It's really valuable. This is like a good recording.
Yeah,
This
thank
is
you, Claire.
great.
My pleasure.
Anything else, Jeremy? Anything else from your side?
Not eager to get started. Yeah.
All right. You know, you got my number, Jeremy, so you
Yeah,
can
I
also
did.
just call.
Yeah. I'll start sweating if I don't have access by about Wednesday, Thursday, but and then I might give you a call and say, can you just show me one of the
Okay.
videos? But
I'm
other than
available.
that,
No, I'll
I
get it
think I-
sorted for you. I'll find out, Jeremy.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I was also thinking, I got to start at the end. Like, what's the message I want to get across? And then just kind of go back to a very personal story. And I already envisioned myself speaking on a stage, and I knew the story and I knew the topic, and I just kind of. But the question was more like, am I ready to share this story? Because for me, it was it's very personal. So, Claire, when you say about the style, like it needs to be the most personal thing that I can talk about, because then it just flows and I can't go wrong, because it's just from the heart. It's just love, and then there's no mind, there's no thinking. So I already am like kind of structuring it, but then I like to compare that against what the Toastmasters say in terms of structure, just to see if I can, if there's to dot the I's and make sure that it follows the structure that's necessary. But it's already, the process is definitely already on the way.
Yeah, brilliant. And will this be your icebreaker?
Yeah.
So remember, the icebreaker is really just you introducing yourself to the audience. So
but I can do that in a lot of ways.
Yes, yeah. So it's just a case of don't delay doing it with this particular thing. Is if you're not ready to do that, do something different, so that you can get that you've got that first one, your icebreaker done, without trying to be too perfect.
And still, I want to. So my goal, so my wish is to be a transformational speaker, not a motivational speaker, but to really make an impact.
Yes.
So Sean advised me, and we sounded it out, and it was so super helpful. And the pathway I chose is persuasive influence. I want to impact.
Yeah.
I want to change people's mind, how they believe, how they consider things. And the only way I can do that is to actually be relatable, but also speak from a place of power.
Yes.
I think, not from force, but from power. And I'm going to just talk about this personal journey that for me was enlightening, really.
Yeah.
And how it changed me and who I am now, like who shows up now, and how you define that. So I have a certain thing that I want to achieve. And so right now, the icebreaker is going to have to be that direction. And it doesn't need to be perfect. I completely agree with you, but it will need to have all these components in it.
Yeah. Well, feel free to contact me, because I'm definitely intrigued, and with what I do as it's my life purpose. So it kind of aligns, and I'd love to help get you to that point where you got, I'm ready to share my story. And it's much simpler and quicker than you think.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing this.
Pleasure.
Yeah, when you said speak from the heart, I'm like, yes. It's the hardest and the easiest at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you do.
Yeah, so I mean, I've done a lot of presentations, speeches that I haven't technically prepared. So I haven't written it all out. I've gone, these are the 3 points I want to share. This is how I want to open up. That's how I want to end. And the rest just comes from the heart. And those, as I said, those are the ones I get oh, that was amazing. I mean, I had somebody come up to me at the last in-person meeting, a lady I have never met. In fact, I don't think I've even seen her online or at a meeting. She came up to me and she said, oh, Claire, I've been wanting to talk to you for the longest of time. She said, your contest entry from last year. She said, it was absolutely phenomenal. It was, I wished you'd gone further with it. And I didn't go further because my speech is not designed in the way that succeeds at contests, if I can put it that way. But for me, that doesn't matter. For what she said to me, that's my purpose. What I said resonated with her, probably with a whole lot of other people. So that's where I gain great satisfaction. So it's that really, and there again, that it wasn't refined to the last word, because it's not who I am, but it served the purpose for which I designed it, which was to impact people. And I love what you say. That's exactly what I am and want to be, is a transformational speaker. And that's what I've been working on since I joined Toastmasters, is transforming people's lives, transforming people's perceptions, transforming the way that people experience life. That's the key. So for me, originally it was a goal. I wanted to get to world champion, to the contest. And I realized quite a while ago that actually, no, because in order to do that, it's got to be word perfect. It's got to be crafted specifically. And that's not who I am. So my thing is, I just want to transform people's lives by the messages that I share.
Which is a different purpose than to win a contest, right? It's
Yes,
very different.
Exactly.
Purpose.
Exactly. You can still achieve that. I'm just not going to get that specific accolade or anything that requires that level of specificity in terms of technique and delivery. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love it, but it's not my natural style of speaking. So I was like, and that's cool, because ultimately that's not my goal. So yeah, I hope that helps.
It definitely does. Oh, sorry. And I still want to work with Verity Price as a former world champion.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
Get to that
definitely.
level.
Yes, no, absolutely. I'd love to be as good as Verity Price.
Yeah.
And many of the others that have spoken, Mark Brown and all of the other amazing speakers. But I've just realized that the way the contest is designed is not me.
I completely understand. From my personal perspective, it's building the skillful means to be able to speak from the heart skillfully.
Yeah. Yes.
And I guess that's where at some point you kind of go like, this is great, this is good. And then what is the motivation to do a contest has a different source or different fundament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because winning the contest gives you a platform that is like no other. It's a way to really give massive impact because of reaching that accolade, which is amazing. But we can interact and help people transform in other ways. But yeah, there's I mean, I just went, okay. I've realized I don't want to do that. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, are we done for the day?
Thank you very much. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to set some time to get into Basecamp and go and mark off those assignments I've finished, and then look and schedule those other ones that I want to do.
Sean, are we getting our login for EasySpeak, or should I have had one already? Do I just use the same one, or how do I get into EasySpeak?
EasySpeak's a different login. When you go in and make the request, they will give you like a username. It's not your email address. They will like mine is SEANAS. It's Sean AS. It's not my email address. And then then you ask for a password. So you say, can't find password, and they'll send it to your email. So EasySpeak,
we do that, or will give us one?
We will do that as a phase 2. Let's not cloud this meeting with Easy Speak. That's that would be like, let's keep this for the people that are going to see the
Stick in
video
your lane,
now.
Sally. Keep in the same lane. Okay, cool. No problem.
We'll come back to you on the Easy Speak. We'll get.
I feel like I've missed the loop with that one, so maybe I'm just not out of it. Maybe everyone's not in it yet. Okay, cool.
No, Willem will put a tutorial out. He put there'll be an email, there'll be a video link that will come out for that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks,
Thank you,
Justine. Thanks,
Sean.
everyone. Thanks,
Thank
Claire.
you, everyone. Have a
Bye.
great
Thanks,
day,
everyone.
everybody.
Have an awesome
everyone.
weekend.
Thanks, Sally.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
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 Bye.